definitely was a challenge, but here's the vocal soloed.
Say your prayers, little one. Don't forget my son, to include everyone.
There actually was a stem online of the vocals, and so that was pretty helpful. I decided it sounds like the first verse vocal is not doubled, but my voice is just not as beefy as his. Okay, I'm not James Hetfield. I had to add some doubles where it needed to go just to beef up the sound. So I'm adding some doubles there. However, in the chorus and pre-choruses, there's definitely additional harmonies and backing vocals. So like this is what the pre-chorus sounds like.
Sleep with one eye open, gripping your pillow tight. Exhale.
So I'm adding like a low harmony, some doubles, and then there's some waves harmony, which I use a lot, which is kind of cheating, I will admit. But in a rush, when I don't have 30 minutes to learn the harmony part, I'll throw waves harmony on and it gets the job done.
Sleep with one eye open, gripping your pillow tight.
People might get on me how like unnatural that sounds, but in context, it works.
Sleep with one eye open.
There's clear harmonies there. I didn't have time to go through the stem and pick out exactly the harmonies where I'm like, it needs additional layers. So I got the job done with that. I don't think there's actually tuning specifically on this vocal. No, there's not. But I am using Metatune, and everyone knows I use Metatune as a doubler. It's a great doubler. So let me go through the vocal chain here. I will go to the chorus part. So I'm using Metatune. Let me take some of these plugins off. Pure doubler, pure width. If you listen to the stems, I don't know if a doubler was used, but it sounds like it, like there's some sort of stereo width thing going on. So that's why I have that going on there. Virtual mix rack, my pretty standard vocal chain with virtual mix rack. The virtual mix rack for me is set up as if this was the preset on tracking day, right? So everyone knows that, you know, in the Pro Studios, they track through compression, they track through some EQ. So I kind of act like I'm tracking it in the studio, and then the rest of the processing is sort of like when it gets to the mix. So I have the S7. This is the SM7B mic match or the virtual microphone collection that Slate has. And I really like it. And you can see like in the year and a half of life of Metallica, which is showing the making of the album, James is singing to an SM7B in some cases. And so that's why I threw this on here. So I have a gate, I have that going on. Then I have like, you know, the 1073 sort of channel, bringing some drive. Then it's going to the console, a little bit of board EQ, and then hitting the distressor.
Exit light and tonight.
So that's doing 7 to 10-ish dB gain reduction on tracking day, right? Then I'm bringing in CLA 76, blue channel again.
Exit light and
that's doing it a lot of compression, right? We need a lot of compression on a dynamic, heavy vocal like this. Let me go to a verse part here.
Say your prayers, little one.
Then a de-esser, like a lot of aggressive S and T sounds. So
say your prayers, little one.
Like on say, right? That's really aggressive. So doing some gain reduction there. Limiter, of course, on vocals to bring in those peaks, especially when the extra layers come in.
Say your prayers, little one. Don't forget my.
That's doing some extra, limiting there. And then I used lustrous plates, which, it's not the reverb I always use, but it was a very distinct plate reverb sound that I could tell Bob Rock was using. So I threw this on here.
Say your prayers, little one. Don't forget my son, to include.
And I really like the controls on this reverb plugin. Valhalla Supermassive is kind of my go-to, but this one has a little more control, which I needed for this vocal. So all the vocals, like in a chorus, for example, sound like this.
Take my hand. We're off to Neverland.
Fun fact, if you listen to the stems, there's like a weird whisper track on that "We're off to Neverland" part, and I got to discover that. That's kind of what's fun about these videos, is you get to discover weird things about these songs. So that is the song in totality there.